All right, welcome to the Sharpening Iron Show. I'm your man, Big Jack. This is where we prove we are stronger together, that if each one could reach one, we can all grow and glow. And today is another beautiful day. We're in July. Hard to believe we're in July. We're in the month of July, and I'm super excited about I love the summertime. I'd rather take the heat over the cold anytime. But at the same time, we're excited because we've crossed the 50 mark. We're moving into a new level of the shows and everything that we're doing. And I'm just excited. It's almost a holiday. We got the 4th of July coming. So, I know you might have some plans and things you want to do and things you're ready to kick off and shooting off your fireworks and maybe doing some cooking out and buying crabs and all those other things if you're up in my area. So get ready for those big bushels. But all of that going on, we're super excited for this show. So I'm not even going to hold y'all up. I'm going to go ahead and bring my man up on the stage so we can get started with today's episode. So let me bring him up on the stage. Oh, my man, Walt Talks. What's up, bro?
My man, what's happening? Big Jack.
Oh,
How you doing,
man.
sir?
Another beautiful day, bro. Another beautiful
Another
day.
day. Hey, man,
Yeah,
July, man. Summer's almost over.
Yeah, it's almost over like it just started. But you're right, man.
Oh, man.
We
Yeah, man.
I love the summertime. I'm not a
Me too.
beach person or whatever, but I just like that. One, we get to get out on that golf course a little bit
Yes,
more.
sir. Yes,
But
sir.
you got to go early and make sure, like we talked before, get that sunscreen on and a hat on and your sunglasses.
Yeah.
Protect that skin because it definitely will burn
Yeah.
you up out there. And I don't care what color skin you got, you can burn in the sun.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah.
played
So
today, man. I played today. Yes,
are you
sir.
there? All right. How was your
Had
round today?
Round was pretty good. Had a 9:50 tee time, but of course it's raining. But it's just too much rain to go to work. But golf, we'll just wait it out. So we pushed it to 10:50, and we probably caught rain the first 4 holes, and then after that, man, it was all sun. I had to put the sunscreen on after the fifth hole because the sun came out, and then it was just hot and humid. So, but I love it. I love the summertime. Played pretty well. Won a few skins.
Okay.
So
All right.
figured a few things out. Hope I can remember what the heck I did the next time I play. So that's golf, right?
Right,
That's
that's
what it
golf.
is. Yes, sir.
How they say
Mhm.
it's a 4-letter word, and they forgot
Yeah,
or they ran out of other words, so they just called it golf, and
man.
that's for sure.
It's like being in love with somebody you can't stand.
Ooh.
That's the
Yeah, I
best
can't
way to
stand you. I
define it.
can't stand you. See you tomorrow.
I mean,
I can't
love.
stand you.
Yeah, what time are we eating dinner
What time
tomorrow?
we see you
I hate you
tomorrow?
guys.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah. I'm in
So
love.
look,
Like being
man,
in love with a woman you can't stand.
we got a good show today. We got a good
Yes,
show.
sir.
So
I'm
yeah, and
excited.
we want to just our guest today is she's known as a global voice for
Yes.
customer service. She's a Latina on a mission to inspire and educate. She's recognized by millions for being sassy. She becomes the inner voice for customer service workers and victims of toxic workplace all over the world. And aside from traveling and spending time with her Roddy and her family, what brings her joy, knowing that she's helping others and stand for themselves, helping others to stand for themselves. And without any hesitation, I want to bring her on the stage if that's all right. So let's welcome her to the stage and welcome to the show. All right, no other than the real Veronica. How you doing? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much for having me. How are you guys doing?
Hey,
Oh
Veronica,
man,
doing
amazing.
well.
Yep, yep.
Absolutely.
So we thank you for being on the Iron Sharpening Iron Show. And we already know we're live on YouTube, we're live on Facebook, and we'll cut this once it's all said and done. We'll put it on Instagram and TikTok once it's all finished. So
Absolutely.
yeah, and I hope I didn't do any harm to you by your introduction, but you got a lot going on. So I appreciate you even being a guest on the Iron Sharpening Iron Show.
No, I'm it's an honor to be here, honestly. Like I love community. I love the community. I love connecting with people. So these opportunities that I get, it makes my heart happy that I get to speak to you guys. And then this gets out, gets put out to other people and they get to learn from both of us. And it's beautiful. I know it might sound tacky, but I love it.
Oh, no, it don't sound like I appreciate it. I appreciate it. For those who don't know and how real you are, I mean, on that side, it was reaching out to you and communicating, and you answered. A lot of people, once they get to a certain level, they're untouchable. You can't reach out to them, you can't talk to them. But the realness of you was the fact that you responded back, and it's like, wow, okay, well, let's lock down this date quick.
Thank you. I appreciate that. No, that's never going to be me. And I know that, it's easy to say that now before I'm like a Hollywood actress and a multi-millionaire, but no, that's just not who I am at my core. I will always try, God, please help me, to stay grounded. And I'm never going to be one of those people that forgets where I came from, forgets the people that kind of provided those stepping stones and reached out. And I will forever have access to my own social media. I don't need nobody taking care of that. So I'll always try to respond as much as I can. I get thousands of messages a day and I try to read them. And then the ones like the messages that you sent where they have more detail and it's very specific, I'm like, all right, let me see what I can do here. Most of them is just like, hi, will you marry me? And I'm like, listen, I can't make that decision right now. There's a lot of pressure.
Okay. Well, let's put it out there. I did not send you a message saying, hi, would you marry me? Okay.
No.
We'll make this clear.
Why would we let the facts get in the way of a good story?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
But no, and it was, and it's true. So we watched your videos for years. So how long have you been doing this? How long have you been doing the Real Veronica?
So I started just a very basic, not expecting anything type of like TikTok page back in 2021, at the end of 2021. And then it kind of grew all the way at the end. So I started probably like September. And then in November, I believe, right around my birthday timeframe was when I hit like the first super viral video. And that's when I kind of kept growing from there. So this year will make 4 years that I've been like creating this brand. But the Real Veronica came about maybe about 2 years ago. That's when I created the actual Real Veronica. I changed my name on all social media. That is the brand that I am today.
Okay, so was there a reason for the change, or did you have to? I mean, you started 4 years ago, and why make a change?
Yeah, so I'm sure you know about the animations. So a lot of people, when they would find my content, they'd be like, "Oh my God, you're the Real Veronica," and that just happened over and over. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to change my name to the Real Veronica because that's what everybody calls me anyway. So that's what it became. It became the Real Veronica because of a lot of comments that I was getting about being the Real Veronica, the actual face of Veronica, not just a cartoon.
Okay, so was the cartoon you? Did you create the cartoon, or is this something different?
No.
What's going on with this?
No, I didn't create the cartoon. I still don't create the cartoons. So I had just randomly started getting like links from my friends like, oh, hey, I saw this. Isn't this your voice? And it was just like sporadic every so often. And then I started seeing them everywhere all the time, like thousands of videos constantly. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is a thing. So even today, there are hundreds of thousands of like pages that are just like, I assume it's AI with my voice. They use my audio and then they create the cartoon and they put it out as if it's their own.
Okay, so wait a minute. You're telling me that the cartoons are not you at all?
No,
You're not even
me.
creating the cartoons. It's not your channel. It's nothing.
Nope, I have nothing to do with them. I don't create them. I have no input in anything. There are two cartoon or animators that reached out to me like, hey, we want to use your stuff. We actually want your permission. We don't want your people, because my followers are amazing. They'll go and they'll report every page that they see. So they're like, we want your followers to stop reporting our pages. So, we came up with an agreement. One is Real Toon Tribe and one is Animation Media. They have my permission, but I still don't do anything with the actual cartoons. I just post my content the way I normally do, and then they do what they do with the cartoons.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good to know. I mean, that's really good because we do a show on the last Saturday of the month called We Be Jamming Live, and with that show, we normally I had to ask permission from people. Can I use their videos? So it's easier to put the video up than it is to have them try to get on the stage and perform live, because when you put a band together and everybody playing all over the place online, it gets a little sketchy and so I get their permission. So I'm one of those people that will reach out and ask your permission. I won't use it until I get permission. So I'm glad to hear that there's other people that's doing the same thing, but there's a lot that's not, for sure.
Oh, there are more that are not than the ones that are. I'm telling you, out of the thousands of pages, there's only 2 that have given me that courtesy.
Oh, wow. Well, you have a great spirit, because I can only imagine if that was happening to me, how I would be all super hot and frustrated at that time. So help me with this. What sparked your passion for speaking out and being the voice of like HR and things like that?
I think I was just born with it. Like, I've always been a very, outspoken, like, take no stuff, like, stand your ground type of person. And I was like that at work. After I became an adult, when I was younger, I was like, oh my God, you can't say anything at work. You got to be scared to talk to your manager. And then I reached an age where you realize that you're really just a number, and that if you don't stand up for yourself, nobody's going to stand up for you. And so my friends were always like, V, you should just start like doing videos. And I'm like, I'm not going to do that. Why would I do that? And then I did it. and it's grown into what it is today, which to me, every single day, I'm still like, is it real? Like, do people in Ireland really know me? Yeah, they do. So I honestly, I just started posting videos, not expecting anything. I was not expecting any of this. I just started posting videos because I saw how easy it was to like edit things on TikTok. That's the only reason, honestly, that I did it. And then it started growing, and then I started getting invited to podcasts, and I started getting invited to online talk shows. And I'm like, what is happening? Even today, I'm still like, I'm so confused.
Well, you definitely are really good at what you do, and it's pretty cool. So now, how do you balance the humor with the real talk when you're addressing? How do you balance those two with workplace issues?
Yeah, so I think that I've, again, always been that person. I've always been a very direct person, but not in a mean way. I've always used humor to get my message across, because I don't like to hurt people's feelings. I don't like to make people feel awkward. So I think even from when I was younger, I've always been the type of person to like, how do people ingest or accept information the best? And that's when you can make them laugh. If you can make somebody laugh, you got their attention, and they're more likely to listen to you if you can make them laugh than if you can't. That's why, if you're sitting through a lecture, if it's a boring teacher, you're not going to pay attention. But if it's somebody that can keep you entertained, you're more likely to pay attention. So that's typically my strategy. Is I can say anything. You can say anything you want to say. You just got to know how to deliver it. And for me, it's most of the time, it's with humor. That's just who I am in general. And my friends can tell you I'm that person. Like, I can tell you that you're getting on my damn nerves and you need to stop interrupting me. But I'll say it in such a way that you'll be like, damn, I love her.
Okay. So if I was working in a cubicle or whatever next to you, this would be the person I would get. The real Veronica would be.
This is just who I am as a person. Oh, yes, wow. Absolutely.
I probably would have loved coming to work. Just know.
Yeah, I'm telling you, my coworkers love me. I don't care what they say. They might hate me because I quit the jobs, but they loved me because I'm a vibe. And I'm not saying that like to boast myself up or whatever, but I'm a vibe. I like to bring people together. I was always the one planning like office parties or like office outings, even though, a lot of people are like, I don't hang out with people for work. My best friends in life are people that I met at work. You spend so much time with these people, you might as well. And you can't become friends with everybody, but I'm a vibe at work. So you would have loved working next to me.
All right. So now I'm going to answer me. You don't do potlucks at work though, right? No potlucks.
I don't do potlucks where I don't eat what people bring. Like I'll bring something from Publix that's closed and I'll eat from like a closed cookie container or something, but I am not going, unless it's like my homegirl that brought something and I know what her house looks like and all that, I'll eat from that food, but I'm not just eating from just anybody's food. Absolutely not.
I got you. No, that's one of my things. Like I don't do the potluck.
You know what I do? I'm a strategist, right? So I'll sign up for like, my mom makes amazing rice. Like my mom's rice is on point. Everybody loves her rice. So I'll sign up for like two things. I'll sign up for like the rice and then like the chicken or the pork roast. So I know that I could eat that day at lunch because I brought the main two things that I want to eat. So I'm good.
It's smart. That
Strategy.
is smart. You're right. Strategy.
Beauty
All
and
right.
brain.
So,
Check that
so
out.
one of the people that's in the chat from your live, because you're live on Facebook, and I'm seeing that, saying, do you do both voices in your situations? So are you doing? Is anyone else helping you with your script, or is it all the voices you?
It's all the voices that I have within me. It's all Veronica's personalities coming together as one. Yeah, it's all me. All me.
Okay. That's pretty cool. That really is cool. I mean, you do it so well. I just love, I mean, watching the videos and seeing the different positions and the different hairstyles and all of that. So it's just, so how long does it normally take you to, say, put a skit together?
I can probably get a skit done in like 10 minutes. It's not that hard because I do very subtle changes. Like I'll change my shirt real quick and put my hair in a bun. The glasses, you'll be so surprised how different you look with and without glasses. Like I'll literally just put the glasses on, put my hair up like this. I'm a totally different person. And that's it. That's,
Superman been
people
doing it
know
for
it's a
years.
skit. They know it's not a movie, so they know it's still me. It's just I think it's cute to like see the different people on the skit.
Oh yeah, Superman been doing it for years. I mean, put the glasses on and like, where you go? That Clark Kent guy, where did he go? Oh yeah, that's crazy. But now, so you're more like the Superman on the shows right now.
There we go.
So, yeah, no, that's really cool. That's really cool. So now, do anyone ever send you scripts, or do you get people sending you ideas?
Yeah, I get comments because I have so many followers that are from all over the world. They send me comments. Like I can't read every inbox message that I get, but I get a lot of comments like, oh, I had this situation. And I've taken some of those situation scenarios and turned them into a skit. You know, I've put my little creative twist on them, maybe exaggerated them a little bit because that's what makes it a little more interesting. But yeah, I get suggestions all the time.
Okay. All right. No, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And so are any of the names real, or do you just change the names to protect the innocent and all of that good stuff?
So my cousin actually called me and cursed me out yesterday because I used her name. I used her name in one of my skits and she hadn't seen it until very recently. But no, I tend to change the names just because I still keep in contact with a lot of like my old bosses, my old coworkers and stuff. I don't want to make it awkward for anybody. So I changed the name. Like Janet, I've never worked with a Janet, I think, or any of the people that I've made. And if I do use their name, they know about it. Like I'll be like, hey, look out for the next video because I'm using your name. It just sounds like a name that you'd be mad at that day.
Oh, okay. I got you. And I noticed you have been some of the videos I've seen, and they may be older and I'm just catching up, but with the airlines, a couple of them with the airlines, it's ops agents, and now the bags is the last one I seen where they were talking about they're going to make all this money by now charging for bags.
Right.
I've only known one airline that just flipped that script, so I'm like, without calling them out, we're not going to call them out, but I'm thinking it's the Love airline. I'm not calling out anybody, but the Love airline might be that one. But yeah, that's pretty cool that you're done.
Yeah, for sure. Most of my career was in an airline. That's why I get so much of my content from. Like that's the type of like call center, in-person type customer service. I never worked in-person customer service at the airline, thank God, because I'd have been in jail by now. But working customer service and then traveling and seeing what they go through, I couldn't do it. But yeah, that's where a lot of the inspiration comes from.
Oh yeah. I'm a former airline worker, so and I was with that company. So and I flew over the weekend or last week, and that was the first time ever that I've been with that I had to pay for bags, and I'm like, what? Yeah. It was like a punch in the face when they said
it hits different. Like, it hits different.
What? $35? What? Oh my God! Yeah. So. Yeah. Anyway, so thank you for dropping that video because that helped.
My pleasure.
Well, I don't want you down there hanging by yourself. You all right,
hey, man? I'm a big fan. The first time I heard you or one of the skits, not your voice, not realizing that was not your content. I'm like, I need to take this lady. I wish I had her when I was working. Because. I'm doing pretty good at HR and internal affairs, but I would love to have you on my side. Have to go.
I get that a lot.
It's like, yeah, and also I feel sorry for anyone who's having a discussion or debate with you because I'm thinking your record is impeccable. I'm guessing you're undefeated because it's like you do have a way about you what's the definition of tact, I guess, to tell somebody where to go and have them glad to be on their way. You have nailed that. You have that skill set. So I'm impressed. I'm really impressed. I am really impressed. And I can only imagine some of your supervisors or people who have been on the other side of your real conversations, seeing these things play out online, I can imagine their feelings about that. Which seems like it's pretty fun. I mean, it's like worth a good laugh. Like, man, she got me.
Yeah, I have a lot of, like I said, I keep in contact with a lot of my old supervisors. My old director, she loves me. And the first time I met her, she was like, she had just started with the company I was with. And she's like, I follow you. I love you. And I'm like, are you sure? Because I'm one of your call center agents. Like, are you positive that you love me? But it's just, like I said, I'm not mean. I'm not rude. I just speak, I just say things how they are. And I think, in a way, it's a little refreshing because you have so much like sugarcoating and people beating around the bush. And it's always like, I got to try and figure out what this person is saying. And with Veronica, you're like, yo, what are you doing? Stop. And you're like, oh, okay, I know exactly how you feel. Okay, now we can pivot. And I think that's just always how it's been. I have one of my old managers also. She's like, Veronica, I used to love when you used to tell me, no, we're not doing it that way. Let's figure something else out so we can all, it can work out for everybody. And it's just, I don't know. I know that I come off like, oh my God, she's a little scary, but I promise you I'm not. I promise you that it's, like I said, it's a vibe. Like we're going to work it out. Like I do my job. We're going to work it out, but we're not going to beat around the bush. We're just going to get things done. That's the end goal. The faster we get it done, the faster we can sit back and relax.
You're only saying what everyone else in the office is thinking and won't say it. And then they leave the room and tell you what they would have done or how they feel, and like, why didn't you say anything then? So yeah, I always admire people who do that because it seems like I've been the crazy guy in the room a lot, and then you get outside, yeah, man, man, I'm right with you, man, I agree, but you didn't say anything.
Right, the whole time you just sitting there quiet. No.
You sit there quiet, scared to death. So yeah, I got no respect for people like that.
Yeah, exactly.
My professional pet peeve is the meeting after the meeting.
Oh man, yeah.
So
you come back 2 weeks later and have the same daggone discussion because you didn't solve anything.
Nobody got time for that.
Yeah. So I want to pop up one of your skits, and for those who've never seen you, so I don't know where they was at, but we're gonna pop one of your skits up, and maybe you can help us break it down or tell us the inspiration that came from it. So let me set the stage real quick.
Let's do it.
And that's not what I want. So let's see. Yeah, there we go. And let's pop it in. Let's go.
Hi, how can I help you?
Hi, yes. So I went and got my degree, and then you told me I had to get my license. So I went and got that, and now I'm here to apply for a job.
Okay, I'm assuming you have experience. What kind of experience do you have?
No, I don't have any experience because I got the degree, and then you said I couldn't get a job because I didn't have the license. So I went and got the license, and so I'm here to apply for the job so I can get experience.
Oh, well, I can't hire without experience. We require a minimum of 3 years experience.
I'm sorry, what?
You're a recent graduate, and I can't hire you if you have no experience in the field.
Okay, but when I came to apply for the job, you said I couldn't because I didn't have a license. So if I can't work in this field without the license, how would I have experience?
You'd have to find a job in this field so that you can obtain the experience necessary.
Okay, so again, the 6 years of schooling, all the tests, and then the test for the licensing, none of that qualifies.
Exactly. I just can't help you. You have no experience.
Okay, so just out of curiosity, if I can't work without experience, but I can't get experience without the licensing, but I can't get the licensing until I finish the school, how do I get the experience to apply for the job without the licensing? And then now that I have the licensing, I can't get a job because of the experience. I feel like I'm talking in a big old circle, but what can I do?
Well, you'd need to go get experience.
Mm-hmm. I have to go get experience. In order to go get experience, someone has to give me a job.
Well, you could always look outside of this field if you can't find a job in this field.
Okay, thank you. Oh boy.
That is so true.
That was a good one, 100%. So how real was that skit that you did there?
So not for me, because I have been blessed throughout my life to get jobs. Like I was in banking. I was a assistant community manager in a leasing office. I've worked in the airline and all that. So it has not necessarily happened to me because a lot of my skits are other people like, oh my God, I'm so frustrated. So I've heard this a lot where it's like, oh, you need experience in order for us to hire you. But it's like, okay, but if I just got the degree, how do I get the experience if nobody's hiring me without it? Like, how do you pay entry level when you require 6 years of experience? Like, it's a mess. That's what it is. I'm speechless at it because it's a mess. I don't know how it's supposed to make sense.
I'm waiting for the video of you going to get your to replace your ID, DMV, and them telling you need ID. It's the same thing. I mean, like if I had an ID, I wouldn't be here right now. So how do you fix that? And to have that conversation, what I love about your videos is you break it down. Just you make people think about how ridiculous they sound. You know,
exactly.
I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, I know this is what the book says, and maybe you can't make this decision. Maybe this is not your call, but does that make sense to you? And it's like, well, the book says, you know, the policy is, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
The most frustrating thing for me is the whole, oh, this is just the way it's always been done. It doesn't mean it makes sense. And maybe someday it made sense. But today, in this moment where I'm speaking with you, it doesn't make sense. Like, and you have to sit there and be like, you know what? You're absolutely right. How do you expect someone to have experience if nobody will hire them without experience? But that's why, you know, you sometimes find that one person that is willing to take a chance on somebody, give them the experience, but you got 50,000 people looking for the same job and you got 2 people giving those chances. So it's just, I don't know. It's so unfair. You got to train me in your system anyway. You got to train me how you want me to do the stuff in your business anyway. So you're going to have to train me regardless. So just hire me and we'll
figure it out.
We'll work it out. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. It did a pause on it.
Yeah.
But yeah. And I think it froze.
Like, man,
yeah.
The common sense piece is missing a lot, you know. So I love your videos because that common sense piece is just right there. It's like, okay, she makes it make sense.
So I know right now it looks, and she took it paused on her end. So once the Real Veronica get her thing. So while she's doing that, we're going to stop and take a quick commercial break, and we'll get her back on. So let me. I
think we're good.
Yeah, you good? We're going to take a quick commercial break. It's only 30 seconds, but we'll be right back. And for the Iron Sharpening Iron show with the Real Veronica. Thank you.
Get ready for the ultimate live experience. Join us on stage where music, poetry, and comedy collide in a night to remember. Top musicians, spoken word artists, and comedians come together for a unique and unforgettable show. From soulful melodies to side-splitting jokes, this jam-packed event has it all. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride as we bring you the best of the best in this one-of-a-kind performance. Are you ready for the next We Be Jammin' Live?
All right, we're back to the Iron Sharpening Iron show, and we got the guest today, the Real Veronica. For those who just watched that commercial, that is the last Saturday of every month we do the We Be Jammin' Live show where we put musical artists, comedians, poets on the stage, and we get to share their talents, and we have a really good time. So if you haven't tuned in, definitely tune in, and the way that you can get there is to go over to Big Jack Storytime's channel and subscribe, hit that notification button, and know when we drop in the next We Be Jammin' Live, and even the Iron Sharpening Iron show. So, but we're back and here with the Real Veronica, and she's explaining to us some of her motivation and all of that. Veronica, I know you do some traveling. I guess now with your newfound, is this your full-time job, or do you have a 9-to-5 and you just do this on the side? How does that work for you?
I will never have a 9-to-5 ever again. I left corporate last year in February, and I can't see myself going back, especially because I think that I've grown more wings since I started this journey. And so if someone comes to me with like the crap that I post about, I'm gonna be like, come on, Like, you know better than this. So no, this is my full time. I'm also a coach. I do coaching with my business, which is called the Customer Service Academy, which ironically is a customer service coaching business. So I do have that on the side. And then my ultimate goal is to actually coach call centers, like just the entire call center instead of just one-on-one or small groups. So I do that. And then content creation and influencer, I guess, is a term that I hate, but it is what it is. This is what I do. This is my life.
Wow.
Okay. Wow. That's cool. So now, is that something you started, the company with the coaching? That's your company?
It is, yeah, because when I first started posting my customer service videos, people were always, and this again came from the comments, just like my tag, The Real Veronica, people were always like, oh my God, I wish I could sit with you and you could teach me how to, handle these customers. And I'm like, when there's a problem, the best way to start a business is to fix the problem. So I'm like, there's a problem. Let me find a solution. And I said, well, what's stopping me from just coaching people? So I started doing that. I started offering my services, and I have my little website. They can just sign up right on there. And that's it. I just, every so often I do one-on-one coachings or a small group of up to 10 people with my Customer Service Academy. And I'm not teaching people how to be nasty or sassy or rude. I actually go through like an intensive course of Customer Service 101. This is how you handle, a customer who's irate. This is how you de-escalate. You also have to take responsibility, because a lot of customer service reps, they've gotten to the point where they're too comfortable. They don't know their job. They're just guessing and winging it. So I'm all about accountability. So it covers all of it. I love it. It's about an 1.5 to 2 hour training. And it's been very successful so far.
Right. Well, that's good. That's excellent. I'm glad. Oh, I'm not saying glad, but I was imagining when you were saying it about you coaching. I say a whole bunch of little Veronicas running around. Oh man, office gonna be funny, boy. So yeah. So
that's exactly what it is, though.
Yeah. So you coaching them up, right? Yeah, like corporate America changing one company.
It is what it is.
Hey, I think there's a market for coaching customers too.
There is.
Oh yeah.
Because you call these customer service lines, and it's like, I'm just like, sometimes just being respectful, being nice gets me everything I need. Because
absolutely.
It's just like they just appreciate the fact that you're not calling them out of their name or something. And I can never understand why you would piss off the customer service person or the person that serves you food or drinks anyway, because that just makes no sense to me. But I guess
I've actually gotten comments from like the customer, like, oh my God, I didn't realize this was me. I'm more mindful now when I call customer service to make sure that I'm being more respectful. I'm like, okay, so I'm not just helping this side, I'm helping them too. I don't know if you saw my most recent video where somebody's like, oh, if you were in front of me, I'd kick your butt. And I looked up the address and I showed up like, what's up?
I saw that.
And look, and we heard that so many times and so many levels. Like, because especially online, you got those keyboard warriors who talk a lot of stuff when they know that but if you was in front of me, like, really? Come on, really?
I could find your address. It's available on truepeoplesearch.com. Don't play with me. I fly for free. I could get to your house.
Oh man, wow. Don't call them out. Don't call them out. Look, so that attitude has to be from the north. So you got to be around that New York, New Jersey, Virginia area. Is that where you from? I'm
from the Bronx. I'm from New York.
Hey, that's a New York attitude right there. I'll come to your house. I'll find you. Yeah. Now, so I got a question, and I'm gonna drop this right here. This is from your chat here, and you can see it come across. And it was Carmen Hollinsted. Okay, said your videos gave me the final push to leave my toxic job this year. So that's good to hear it, and I'm sharing that because my question was, what's the most powerful or emotional reaction you received from someone impacted by your message?
So I will always remember, I did a video where because I'm bilingual. So I did a video where I was speaking English and they asked me, oh, I see on your resume here that you speak Spanish as well. Can we use you every now and then? I'm like, yeah, it's going to cost you. That's like an extra skill. That's something that if I'm not there, you either got to pay a translation, interpreter line, or you're just going to lose that customer. So you're going to have to pay for that. So it's either a salary increase or it's a pay as you go. And I had a man who reached out to me. He sent me an Instagram DM before I was getting thousands. So I was actually able to read and respond to a lot more of them. And he's like, Veronica, you don't understand that I've been translating documents, or I know one is translation if it's written and one is interpreting. I don't even know which is which, but he's like, I've been translating documents for my boss for 5 years because I'm the only one in his office that speaks Spanish. And I never thought to ask for more money. So he's like, after I saw your video, I went and I was, just respectfully like, hey man, I want to bring this up. And he said that his boss was like so apologetic. He was like, bro, I didn't even think about it. He gave him a raise and he gave him retro pay for all the work that he had done for those 5 years. So that to me, I was like, what? Like that. Yeah. I was so happy. Like, I don't have to benefit from your success for me to be happy. I'm happy that you that you spoke up and look at what happened. He got, like he said, he got a couple dollar raise. I think he got like a $2 raise, and then he got a retro pay. So, he got a little fat check for 5 years. So it just, that impacted me so much. Like I was so excited to hear that. I was like, thank you, God, because I know that I've always said it. If I can impact one person with my stuff, I'm happy. I don't need to impact the entire world. So hearing stories like that, it really, really like makes me feel good. See, and it pushes me to keep doing what I'm doing.
That right there is the motto of our show, because we say it all the time. If each one could reach one, we can all grow and glow. And that's the whole purpose of the Iron Sharpening Iron show. Is each one reaching one. We don't have to get everybody. If I can just get one, and we can all grow and glow, and because we're going to pay it forward and things like that. So that's awesome.
Exactly.
So a question came up from go ahead, Walt. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Jack. Go ahead.
I said Lisa, it's Lisa Wright. She's in there and she made a comment. Do you have an agency who represents you? So are you represented by an agency or anything like that?
So for collaborations with social media, I'm under Viral Nation. They get me like, the collaborations with like the toothbrushes that I've done and a couple other things. As far as, because I'm also an actress. I did forget to mention that earlier. I don't know why, but I'm in acting right now. Like I've done a couple commercials and stuff like that. So I don't have an acting agent, but I do have like a social media agent.
Okay. All right. That's cool. Now that's pretty cool. So we're going to be looking for you in, I guess, in the commercials and maybe some soap operas or anything like that.
Yeah. Ultimate goal is TV and film. My most recent commercial was for Universal, and it actually came out on the Today Show and CNBC. So that was really exciting. I'm like, me on the Today Show? Okay, let's do it. But the ultimate goal is TV and film. Florida is not good for any of that. So I'm going to have to eventually make my way up back to New York or over to LA to try and get in there. But, just with everything going on in my life, I've been kind of laying low for a little bit, but eventually I'm going to make it to one of those two places just to kind of get deeper into it. I can travel back and forth right now, but you really got to be there. If if they call you for an audition tomorrow, you got to be there. You can't be like, oh, I can fly up, but it's going to take a while. So look out. You never know where I'm going to be next. I don't even know where I'm going to be next.
That's cool. That really is cool. So was that a goal and a motivation in the beginning before the Real Veronica, or is that because of the Real Veronica?
No. So I've actually always wanted to be in acting. When I was younger, in like high school, middle school, I was in acting programs and all that. But then when I turned 18 and my parents split up, it's been like me and my mom living together. My dad moved to Puerto Rico. We were very, very close. But he moved to Puerto Rico. So it was me and my mom, and I always worked 2 jobs, and it was just not financially feasible for me to pursue acting at that moment. I couldn't leave her. I couldn't afford to move somewhere like LA or back to New York. So acting has always been the end goal. I thank God that I'm in a position right now in my life where content creation, and TikTok and Facebook and all those platforms are providing me the life that I can afford to not necessarily work my 9 to 5 and really focus on, growing as an actor. Everything happens when it's supposed to. That's how I feel.
No, that's cool. That really is good. That's cool. A question came up in the chat, and it was saying, and it says, "How do you travel for free? What is that? What's your?"
So I used to work for the airline, like I mentioned earlier, and when I left last year, they were actually offering an opt-out package, and because I was in a place with my content creation that I felt like I could walk away from corporate America, I took the opt-out package, and part of that package was a couple years of flight benefits. benefits. So I had been at the company for 7 years. So I got a significant amount of time left with my free flights.
Oh, look, I was with the airline. They didn't give me no package. They ain't
I'm
knocked me
sorry.
out. They
They
didn't
were
knock me
like,
out.
bye.
Yeah, that's it. Bye. Yeah, it's almost like Tombstone. One of my favorite movies is Bye. There you go. So yeah, that's
Bye.
yeah. So I see that you here that you have a fur baby. You have a fur baby. So what can you tell us a little bit about your fur baby?
Yeah. So ever since I was a little girl, I had wanted a Rottweiler, and I found them so beautiful and just like so cuddly, and but they get such a bad rap. I was afraid of big dogs because I got chased by a pit bull when I was younger, so I kind of stood away from them. I always had little dogs, and then in 2021, my mom's best friend's daughter posted a litter, and I was like, "Are those Rotties?" And she's like, "Yeah." I said, "I want one." She's like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Yeah, I want one." Because I was living in an apartment. I'm living in Florida. She's in Pennsylvania. I'm like, I'll be there. Whenever you tell me 8 weeks from now, I'm on my way. And we went, we picked him up, and he's my baby. His name's Luca. He's 104 pounds. He thinks he's a lap dog. But he is the best, most empathetic. He's just so loving and very protective. Like he's very protective of his mama, his grandma, his uncle. My aunt lives with me. And, but he's just such an amazing dog, especially with everything that's going on right now. He's been like at my hip, by my side. He will not leave me. And I don't know what I'm doing. He's not here now, but I'm going to take advantage of every moment that I have with that dog, because he really, truly is like the love of my life right now.
Right. Yeah, I seen one of the videos. I think it was a blooper that you threw in there where he was behind you sleeping, and you said, "Listen, just snoring." He's so
yeah,
rude.
he's always snoring, breathing mad loud in my videos. That's why he's not in here with me right now, because he'd be on my lap and like pushing the camera down.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, he is hardcore. Okay. But 104 pounds. Wow, that's amazing. So, yeah. So now, Luca? Is Luca? You said right? Do we travel with you, or is it?
I wish. You don't understand. If I could put that boy in my backpack and carry him like a book bag, I would. But no, unfortunately, he's not my service animal, and they don't do emotional support animals anymore. So he does not travel with me. Plus, he's so big, and people get really uncomfortable, like with big dogs like that. So I leave him home. My mom is here, and his uncle's here, and my aunt. They take really good care of him. But he knows when I'm leaving. He knows. I just got back from a trip yesterday. He was biting my luggage. He was crying, like he was jumping on me. I feel so bad when I have to leave him, but no, he does not travel with me. If he could, trust me, I promise you, I'll be taking that dog everywhere I go.
Now, in the chat, they were saying, can you create some content with your dog? So with Luca, can you actually create a video with? Have you thought about that? I guess we're gonna go that way.
Yeah, I've posted a couple. I have to post some more because he's just so animated. Like last night I was looking for him, and he's black. My bed sheets are black. Everything is black. So it's dark in my room. I'm looking for him, and all I see is his two little brown feet like poked out of under my bed. And I look, and he's knocked out snoring under my bed. He got his big old body somehow under my bed, and that's where he was asleep. That's where he slept last night. And I'm like, so yeah, I've posted some content with him. One of the most popular ones is that every time I watch the Yankees and they're playing at home, they sing "God Bless America" during the 7th inning stretch. And my dad used to be like, he used to call me on video, and I would sing to him. So Luca started getting in on it, so he would start singing. So every time you hear the trumpets right before the song starts, he looks at me and it's like, "Are you ready, buddy?" And he's like, "Let's do it, mom." And he just starts howling the entire song. It's insane. So I got a recent video that I have to post, but yeah, so I'll post more Luca content. A lot of people been asking for it.
No, that's pretty cool. So yeah. So do the Real Veronica have you have kids, or how does that work?
No, and I'm not going to say that I don't want them. I'm leaving it in God's hands. Whatever happens, happens. You know what I mean? Like if it's meant for me to do it, what I will tell you is that I'm not interested in any type of like alternative ways. If it happens naturally, it happens. I'm not pushing it. If I get married and I have a child, naturally, I'm good with it. I might adopt if that doesn't happen. But I really don't want to put my body through anything like that, like IVF and all those things. I've seen what other women go through with that stuff. And sometimes it doesn't work. And then you're like devastated. I don't want to go through that. If it's meant for me to have a baby, it's gonna happen. When it happens. He's my baby. I cook for him every single day. I cook for him more than I cook for myself. So no, Veronica does not have kids. I call my mom my daughter, because once you hit a certain age, and your parents hit a certain age, they stop listening. They do what they want. And I'm not okay with that. I'd be like, yo, where you going? She's like, you don't got to ask me questions. So my mom is my daughter right now. And then my brother lives here, and he's older than me, but he acts like a child too. So he's my son. So I got plenty. I don't need a baby right now.
No, I understand. I've seen in your bio, you were saying that you travel with your family and things. So that's why, we asked the question. But and I could only imagine your videos as a parent, the customer service, because a lot of kids don't get respect at all. So, and I can only imagine, and not even that, like you say, you're having a sibling or even a parent, because a lot of different videos where people disrespect, and they just need somebody to speak up for the elderly, to speak up for the young, and I think you would be the perfect person to do all of that. So that's pretty cool right there. So do you have any advice for anyone that's going through maybe a toxic work environment? Is there anything that you would say to them?
I don't know, because I be having people quit their jobs real quick. This day and age, there are a lot of jobs out there. There's a lot of younger generations who have changed sort of that work environment. So look for something else, look for something out of your comfort zone. If you cannot leave your job, which I fully understand, then you have to find a way to work with what you got. Everything we do is a choice. Every single thing we do, we're making a choice. If you're choosing to stay at a toxic job because they pay well, that's okay, but you're making the choice to stay at that job. So if you're going to make the choice to stay at that job, then you have to try and figure out how to work it out. If you have a boss that's, too hard on you, or they disrespect you, email, get HR involved. A lot of people don't do it because they're scared. They don't want to ruffle feathers and stuff, but then you live your life miserable. You know what I mean? You go home after work and you're stressed and you're mad. You go to sleep upset. Your kids are suffering because you're mad. Your spouse is suffering. So you really got to take a little bit of accountability. That's my word for the year, is accountability of, okay, I can't leave my job, but I can, decide how I'm going to work at my job. And again, get HR involved if it gets to that point. CYA with your emails. If somebody comes at you a certain way, send them an email. Hi, this was the interaction we had today. I was not okay with it. Please don't let it happen again. CC their manager, CC your manager. Get people involved. When people see that you're willing to speak up, they're a little less likely to mess with you. I promise you from experience, people will leave you alone when they realize that you're just not with it. When they realize that you're actually going to fight back, they're like, they want the path of least resistance. So they're like, let me mess with somebody else. So you have to, sometimes you got to be a little crazy. It's worked for me my whole life.
Documentation beats conversation all day.
Very
long.
important.
Yeah, 100%. And that's a crazy thing for me, because I come from an era where pick the phone up, have a conversation. So people are like, just send me an email. And in my world, if I got to send you an email, this thing is going off the rails. I'd rather have a conversation, because when you reduce it to paper, that's to writing,
right?
That's an issue. But I have a question for you. Two parts. One, you talked about acting, so we're looking for that to see some of your work. But do you do voiceovers as well?
So I actually did a partial audiobook last year. Someone reached out to me via Instagram again before I blew up a little bit. And she's like, your voice is so popular all over the internet. Would you like this opportunity? I said, absolutely. So I did a partial voiceover on a book. I haven't dabbled much more into it. But yeah, I'm willing to do it all. I love entertainment. I think the only thing that I'm not willing to do is theater. But if I got to do it, I got to do it. If I need to use it as a stepping stone, to get somewhere else, I will. But voiceover is not off the table. I've auditioned for a couple voiceover roles.
And how often do you go into an establishment or have an interaction with a person and they recognize your voice? Right?
Oh man, all the time.
Yeah,
And
all the
sometimes
time.
they'll
That's pretty
recognize my
cool.
voice before they'll recognize my face. Like a lot of people recognize my face.
100%, yeah.
The curls are like out there, you know, and my makeup is pretty much the same. Actually, yesterday I got on the airplane and a girl was like, "Do you work with us?" And I'm like, "Not anymore." And it took her a while to be like, "Oh my God, I know who you are." And she's like, "But you look the same as in your videos." She's like, "Usually you see people looking one way and in person they look another." I'm like, "Nah, this is like, I just get up, do my makeup, do my hair, and this is who I am." She's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it." So it happens all the time. If they don't recognize me by face, they'll look at my face and be like, "You look so familiar." But if I start talking or if I speak, they're like, "Oh, I know who you are." And I'm like, okay, which is insane because I've always hated my voice my entire life.
Oh, wow.
Really? Is that right?
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would not have figured that one out, never.
Yeah, I've never liked my voice, and now it's all over the world. And I'm like, great.
Yeah,
So,
because
wow.
your diction and your pronunciation is just incredible. I mean, it's like every word. So, do you have any other talents? Do you sing?
I wish I could sing in the shower. I could hit some Whitney Houston in the shower, but I cannot sing. And I always said, if I could ask God for one talent, just give me one talent, it would have been singing, because I love to sing. But no, I cannot sing to save my life. I'll karaoke you all day, but I'm not a singer. I do love to dance.
That's pretty bold.
Yeah. In my acting group back in the day, it was a dancing and acting group. So I used to love dancing, hip hop and all types of dancing. So I do enjoy dancing, but my talents are acting, entertainment, and I love to write. I'm a writer. I used to write some scripts. I'm in the current process of writing a script. I write short stories, and I'm in the process of writing a book as well.
So tell me about the love for the Yankees. Give me that. Tell me about your love for baseball and love for the Yankees.
Yeah, I mean, besides just being a Bronx girl, my dad used to be an umpire when I was younger, way back when he first met my mom. Baseball was always one of those things that was always on the TV, the Yankees specifically. He never missed a game. And so just growing up, it just became part of who I am. And then more recently, right before he passed, we had been, because he lives in Puerto Rico, I'm here. We have been watching every game. Like I got him the MLB package and I would watch it here. He would watch it there. He'd call me 15 times. "Did you see that? Oh my God, I can't believe this." It just became our thing. Like that was me and my dad's thing. And after he passed, it was really difficult for me to watch a baseball game. But I said, you know what? This is the one thing that really, really connects us. So I've still been watching almost every single Yankees game that I can watch with my subscription. I watch it every single day if I can.
Wow, that's sorry to hear about your dad passing, but that's pretty cool that you got that experience and that you can still remember the game. So with that, we know the Yankees are your team. Is there a favorite player? Is it just the Yankees?
No, well, I love the Yankees as a whole. Aaron Judge, obviously, but I feel like that's just the obvious answer. He's our captain. He's a great player. He's humble. But I really do like a couple of the players. And then I did love Jose Trevino, but he's gone now. He left to, I think, the Cubs. So I did like him as a catcher. Volpe, I feel like I like him because the last game that I took my dad to, which was 2 years ago, it was Volpe's last game in spring training as a rookie, and then he started the next day in the regular season. So I feel like I've kind of followed his career from the beginning, and I'm really rooting for him. He's such a young kid, and he always loved the Yankees, modeling his career after Derek Jeter. So I like Volpe, but I really like a lot of them. Like it's such a great team. I'm not just saying that because I'm a Yankee. I really love my team. I was an Alex Rodriguez fan way back when, but he's gone.
So I guess we can expect the Real Veronica doing Yankees commercials.
I sure hope so.
Working with the publicist soon. I mean, that would be so cool. That would be
I sure hope so.
Cool.
I've reached out to them a couple times and I've applied for a couple of their gigs. They actually had a social media gig open recently and they didn't hire me. Rude. They're lost. But I'll actually be there. My dad's birthday would have been July 12th, next Saturday. And I'm actually going to a game. I said I would have gone to Puerto Rico to celebrate his birthday anyway. So instead of doing that, I'm going to go and celebrate it at Yankee Stadium.
All right. Okay. So New York Yankees front office, if you're listening, the Real Veronica needs a gig with the Yankees.
Hello.
Even if it's pitching or throwing out the first pitch in a game or something, get the Real Veronica on your field, pitching, throwing, Not singing the national anthem, but
No.
anything else she's willing and open to do.
I could do God Bless America. I have mastered that. I have mastered God Bless America.
And you can take Luca with you.
I can take Luca with me, exactly. Let him sing it.
That's pretty cool. That's
100%.
cool. Yeah. So is there any other teams, or is it just baseball? No football, no basketball?
No football, no basketball. I'm just a Yankee. I'm just a baseball girl. I enjoy it. I love it. My dad would sit there and like explain to me what's going on, why this, what's going on here. And it's so many rules. It's so crazy. I get a little bored watching other teams, so I only watch the Yankees play.
Right. And you mentioned in that brought back a memory to me, and I just wanted to share it because it's Jack's story time. So get to share the little story. But I remember going to an Oriole game with my dad. So I took my dad to an Oriole game, and he's blind. So he was blind. So I had to explain everything that was happening. So I'm like, they're pitching the ball. So he's just sitting there, and he's blind, no glass or anything. And he's watching, he's looking like he's watching the game. And then the couple next to us was like, "Excuse me, sir, can you take our picture?" Talking to my dad. So he like, he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm blind." He said, "I'm sorry, I'm blind." He's like,
I can't help you.
I didn't know. I said, "You should have got the camera, because I'd have loved to see what that picture came out to be."
Hey man, because I know. So his father and I were good friends. He was like my OG. So the guy I remember would probably take the camera, turn it around backwards, just for fun.
Just for fun.
Just for fun. Yeah, just for fun. Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that you did that for him. I love that so much.
You're saying you're saying your dad was sharing with you what was going on. So I'm talking every pitch. He pitched the ball, strike, hit it over there. And
I love that.
But it was like he didn't miss the game, because I'm telling him play by play. But when that lady said, "Can you take our picture?" and I was like, "Wow, like, yeah, you should have got that camera." Oh man,
that's right. As a joke.
Yeah, I had an uncle. He was a Yankees fan, but he was a baseball fan, but he loved the Yankees. But I mean, this was probably 15 years ago. He's been gone now. But I would go over his house, and he'd have TVs all in the house, but he'd sit at the kitchen table with the AM radio and listen to baseball games. That was his thing, you know. So when I turned him on to XM radio and everything, he was like, not XM, it was I guess it was the internet was able to get their station online. And he'd sit there and he'd listen, and it was just like, it was a different game when you hear it being announced. And you can hear the crack of the bat, and it's just like, wow, you know, it's theater of the mind, you know, it's really theater of the mind. So some of those baseball announcers are pretty good. Those play-by-play guys are pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Elena Cohen, I want to make sure we get this name right and see if we can get it up there. Said, "It would be cool to see the Real Veronica on a TV show. You're an amazing woman. Good luck. Hopefully Netflix will pick you up." So there you go.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Say, hey,
listen, you never know.
Look, I was on Netflix, and I wish I knew you, because they ain't paying me. So they accidentally, I accidentally got on there. So I'm a WWE fan, and at that time was WWF, and we was at one of the matches in Washington D.C. area, and they were interviewing little people in the line. So me and my cousin was in line, and they asked my cousin what was his favorite wrestler, and he so he made a comment, I made a comment, so made a comment. They did a special on McMahon on Netflix. It's on there now, Mr. McMahon. That's the special. In the first episode, that video from what we say was it 24, 34 years ago came back. It came back. So this is when I was 14 years old. So this thing is almost 40 years old. It came back, and it's on the first episode. And
look at that.
Yeah, but they didn't pay me. They give me
call them, be like, "Yo, where's my money at?"
That's right. So now that I know I could probably do that, since you already talked to somebody, you're like, "Hey, you using me? You on my, you know?" But anyway,
right. Where's my royalties? Yeah, I mean, you never know. Like I said, I'm working on some stuff. You know, I can't say too much, but I am working on some stuff, and you never know what doors are opening next. My life for the past year has taken so many insane turns. Things have happened that I never thought. I've spoken to people. I actually just did an interview with a reporter from the Associated Press last Thursday. Like, there's been a lot. Like, and I'm like, okay. And I'm in my era right now. I'm 36. I'm free. I have no kids. I don't have a job. You know what I mean? I mean, a job. You know what I mean? To where I don't have to say no to anything. I'm at the place where I'm like, if it's not unethical or immoral, I'm going to go for it, because you never know what's going to come from anything. So I'm saying it's my yes time, and I'm saying yes to almost anything, again, as long as I don't want to devalue myself either. But you never know what opportunities can come from different opportunities. So I'm in my yes phase.
All right. That's awesome. I mean, you're in a good spot. You got a lot going for you. Definitely the voice of like you say, of HR, and those who we say that's going through, pointing them in the right direction and helping them all over the world. I mean, all over the world, to the point that when I was sharing the fact that you were going to be on, a lot of people didn't know your real self. They didn't know you was real. We only know you as the cartoon. And lately I seen you as a baby. I was like, what is going on with that?
I saw that.
Yeah.
I'm like, she actually looks like she could be my kid, though. It was so cute. It was AI, of course, but I'm like, she totally looks like she could be my child.
Yeah, so I'm like, they're just, I mean, they're capturing your. But the thing is, and you did make a comment that copying, or it's the flattery. And so people are actually using it because the material is legit. So it's like, this is real good stuff, and it needs to be shared. And I'm hoping that we could keep posting you and promoting you and moving you all over the world, because it'd be a shame for someone to just give you a script and say this is the only thing you got to say, because like, we want the real Veronica. Come on, that's not but that's pretty cool. So what's your you talked about some of what's coming up and things like that, but what outside of that, and your company, what's the goal of your company, the mission of your company is there, and how can people get in touch with your company if they need to go through your class?
Yeah. So the goal of the company right now, like I said, is more one-on-one than anything, because I want people to have that opportunity to freshen up their own skills. They can add it to their resume. Like, I paid for my own customer service class, and I feel like any company that sees that someone took that initiative to do something themselves to, sharpen their skills is probably a valuable asset to that company. At least if I was a company owner, I'd be like, wow, this person actually took that initiative. And I'd keep an eye on them for like growth opportunities and stuff. So, but the ultimate goal, because I'm one for the people, I rather a big old company pay me than have individuals pay me. So my ultimate goal is to reach out to companies. For example, the Philippines has a gigantic population of call centers, because it's very, very popular for them to be outsourced, for call centers to be outsourced to the Philippines, is to get in contact with call centers out there and just teach an entire class, because you have these people who are dealing with American customers and they're like, I can't deal with this because American customers are crazy. And then you have somebody who's like, don't worry, I got you. I'm going to teach you how to handle American customers in a respectful, professional way. And that's the ultimate goal of the Customer Service Academy. And to reach me, the website is kind of long because everything was taken for some reason. But it's Customer Service Academy by the.com. And that they can sign up right on the website, pick their date, make their payment, and it'll send it to my calendar, and we'll do a Google Meet for an hour and a half to 2 hours. And they will be on their way to being the best professional customer service representative they can imagine.
Now, it's funny you mentioned the Philippines, because I've spoken to a few Philippine customer service reps, and super kind, super nice. But it's almost like a weird feeling, because it's almost like, sometimes my experience has been almost like two-stage. It's like I'm expecting a little more resistance, and that this just goes to show you how we've been conditioned, culturally conditioned, to just basically, you go to DMV, you go to the bank, we call customer service, like, you go in ready to fight. I mean, that's just like, you go in expecting the worst. And you're like, oh, hey, Walt, how are you? Man, I've been on hold for 3 minutes. Oh, I'm so sorry that happened. I'm like, man, cut it out, man. Just can I get a refund on this Amazon package or not? You know what I mean? So, or you send me the wrong thing, and they're like, we're so sorry that happened. And then they have, it's just pretty cool, but it's kind of weird because it's like no attitude. It's like you understand, like they know the reason I'm here is because, well, we're here to support these customers. So that is just kind of cool. Yeah.
So are you a believer of the customer is always right?
No, because that's not even the full saying. The customer's always right was coined years and years and years ago. And the full phrase is the customer is always right in matters of taste, meaning if a customer is wearing a yellow shirt, they try on a yellow shirt, they're like, I like this. You as the salesperson, it's not your job to tell them, no, you shouldn't like that. Take it off. No, that looks beautiful. Let's ring you up. So, people shortened it as a convenience to themselves to where the customer's always right. The customer's not always right. If you were always right, you wouldn't be calling me, asking me the question. Why are you calling me if you know the answer and you're right? Why are you bothering to reach out to me? That's an entitlement mentality where the customer's always right. No, I think that the customer needs to understand that you're not always right and you need my help. That's the reason you're calling. So give me a chance to be able to help you. But that's, again, why I teach accountability, because sometimes reps do give the wrong information and they provide the wrong address, the wrong phone number, this and that. So my training is very much about accountability, about like, how do you sharpen your skills? This isn't about teaching the customer. You can't, you really can't teach customers. They're going to be who they are, and your company needs them because you need a job. That's job security. As long as people are calling in, that's job security. So we need them, but we don't have to let them walk all over us. So I teach you how to sharpen your skills, how to bring it down a notch, how to get in the mindset of, okay, this person is not mad at me. They don't hate me. They hate what's happening with the company. They hate the decision. They hate the policy, but they don't hate me. They may be yelling at me, but it's because I represent the company right now. So I'm really big on accountability of, okay, figure your work out, know your stuff, because there's a lot of people who, I think. No customer wants to hear the word I think. I need you to tell me what the answer is so that when I show up to your store, they're not like, oh no, that you were given the wrong information. What? This is why we get irate customers. But no, the customer is absolutely not always right. They're very rarely right.
I appreciate you telling us that, because I did not know that. And of course, I'm sure it was a customer who shortened it. But
of course.
Of course. But that's pretty cool, because it's one of those things that people always say, you hear, you say it, and now you just gave us the whole quote.
Right.
That's
cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now, as long as it wasn't just made up. So no, I just made it up. Yeah, I just made this one up too. Because we create a lot of our own stuff, but at the same time. But no, I'm too Walt. I didn't know that there was more to it, because it's almost like people reading scripture and they always I only take the parts I like. Customers, right?
The convenient parts.
Yeah, the convenient part. Yeah. So it's a matter of taste. So that's pretty cool. So thank you.
Yeah, when you think of Leviticus, where people, they always talk about what you can't do, but it's like, okay, then there's 10 other things that we do on a daily basis.
Exactly.
Like mixing fabrics, yada 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 yada. But we kind of pick and choose the ones
which ones you want.
Which ones you like. Yeah, so that's true.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, but that's really, really cool. I mean, you got a lot going on for you. That's just amazing, and I know you throughout your age and all, and it's just amazing to be able to talk with you and see at this level that and I can't imagine I can't imagine it, but it's just like you wake up one day and you look at a video you posted and it's it got 100,000 views, 200,000 views, or whatever. I mean, what was that? I mean, that feeling. What was that? Did it motivate you to do 2 videos now?
Because then I got invited to the Creator Fund and I started getting paid. And I'm like, hold up, how many videos you need? Because I got content. The first video that I posted that actually went, I don't even know how many views that video has today. But I think I was at Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights, and I had posted a video and I didn't even think about it. And when I checked, it was at 25,000. And I'm like, that's crazy. And throughout the night, it just kept growing and growing and growing. And I'm like, oh my God. So my most viewed video today has 11 million views. And I'm like, Do you know the capacity? Like, can you wrap your mind around what 11 million is? Like, it's so much. I'm like, 11 million people have seen this beautiful face. Oh my God.
What video was that? What was
it's one that I made after J-Lo went viral for talking about her bodega order with like the orange drink and all that. I kind of made a parody to that. And that one went viral. And then the other one has 10.9 million. And it's the one where I say, you could take a minute, walk around the block, come back, and we could talk. That was like one of my first videos. And that one has 10.9 or 11.1 million views.
Wow.
Yeah. So I have two that are past 11 million. And I'm like, wow, to me, it's still, even when I see one of my videos go viral to 1 million, I'm still like, oh my God, that is insane. That's so many people.
Yeah. And that's not even including, that's just your videos.
Right.
Not including the people that stitch your videos.
Exactly.
And your voice is probably at 30, 40 million people. Yeah, that's crazy.
For sure.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. I mean, my hat's off to you.
Thank you.
I'll applaud you. And I really, really thank you for spending your time with us, because I mean, when you're talking those kind of numbers, and it's like, us, we're getting started. I'm a new content creator. I've been doing it since October, I think, is when we started. So October of 2024. So we're actually in that motion of growing.
That's amazing.
I had a video on TikTok that had 1 million views. I think it was 1 million. Yeah, it was a golf video, guy missing a putt and it going down and I was like, wow. And I wasn't trying to do anything, but it stopped. And I didn't post another one behind it. I didn't, chase, after it. But at the same time, now I see, like, okay, I should be doing this thing. This is
yeah, absolutely. That's one thing that I can tell anybody that's trying to get into it. Social media influencing content creation is very oversaturated right now, but you have to bring something different. Just keep doing it. Like, you have to keep posting. The least one that you expect is going to go viral, and you're going to get a little leg up, and you're just going to keep at it. Like I said earlier, not everybody has it in them to push themselves. So the ones that do, if you are consistent, you keep at it, you're going to be successful. Again, success looks different to everyone. But if you keep at what you want, it's not a mistake that you are doing this show. It's not a mistake that in October you were like, I'm going to start this. Those things are like implanted into us, and we just got to follow that. Me just being who I am happened to be this viral person. You know what I mean? Like, I literally I just am who I am, and it worked out. That wasn't by mistake. I have this loud mouth and this sassy attitude for a reason. And clearly it's working because I've influenced people to speak up for themselves, to stand up for themselves, to not back down at a challenge. And that's why that is my advice to everybody. Keep going, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be content creation. But in your situation, you're at 51. This is 51, I think. 52. Is your 51st? 52. Okay, because you have one more before. So 52, look at that. Like, you started with one, now you're at 52. Before you know it, you're going to be at 100, and just keep at it. Like, keep bringing people on. You put yourself out there, and it's going to keep happening, and it's going to happen for those who want it to happen. You just got to want it bad enough.
Yeah, no, that's the whole thing. The mission was to help. The mission was to help somebody, so that's what the whole show, that concept. And I'm not in competition with anyone. So it's not like I'm out trying to get your views and your likes and this and that. So, and that's where a lot of times the separation is, where some people are, we're out there competing for, it's like it's only one person out there and let's see who can get them. It's like, no, the whole world is out there, and all of them can be your. The
only person you should be in competition with is yourself, like your previous self. Like, every single day, you're like, what did I do yesterday that I could do better today? That's the only person you should be in competition with. I've never in my life been in competition with anybody. I love to see people win. I love it so much. Even if you bought a house before me, you bought a newer car than I did, I am applauding you. I'm so happy, because mine is going to come. I'm going to work at mine, and mine is going to come eventually. It's going to come differently. It's going to come bigger, smaller, whatever. But I'm going to get what I've been working for. I want you to get what you've been working for. I want that for everybody.
Yeah, that's
100%.
It's great message. Great message. So look, I do got another video I wanted to show, and if it's okay with you. So I'm gonna pull us back on the side, because a lot of people just still don't know who you are. And I don't know why. I don't know how. It's like, so I'm pulling this on the side. And I just want to show this because I like the attitude that you have. But let's see what we got. Let's see.
Hi, welcome to Veronica's Bakery. How can I help you?
Yeah, so I'm planning my 40th and I'm looking for an over-the-top, beautiful, extravagant birthday cake.
Okay, and when is it going to be for?
It'll be a week from Saturday.
You have an inspo pic?
Yeah, here you go.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, I've made quite a few of those. So, okay. Same colors?
Yeah, just with some glitter.
Okay, not a problem. All right. So, yeah, we do require a 10% deposit and then you pay the rest on pickup.
Okay, that's fine. I just need to know how much.
Yep. So your deposit will be $6.50 and then you pay the remaining amount.
Wait. You said $6.50. That means the cake is $65?
Yeah, $65. Everything included.
No, that's insane. That's too much.
Is it too much? I'm sorry. That's I have other options that I can show you.
No, I don't want other options. Walmart sells it for less than half the price.
Mm-hmm. What's your address?
Why?
Where do you live?
I don't know why you're asking.
I just want to see something really quick.
I live by Eastwatch. I still don't understand why you need to know my address.
So you passed 2 Walmarts to get here, and yet you still came here, even though you're saying Walmart was cheaper. So why didn't you stop at one of those 2 Walmarts?
Well, it's my birthday, so I wanted something special.
Oh, because you wanted high quality and you wanted something that was made with love. I'm sure they make them with love. Walmart bakers are legit. Walmart cakes are actually pretty good. But if you want just like a little bit of a next level, then you go to a specialized bakery, which is what you did today, but you were still expecting to pay Walmart prices.
Listen, Walmart will be more than happy to take my business if you don't want it.
Yeah, no, I'm sure Walmart will be more than happy to help you. If you would like to purchase from me, then the price is the price. Walmart's price is their price. You don't go over there negotiating.
I just don't like your demeanor. I don't like your attitude. I don't like how you're talking to me.
So what I'm going to do at this time, because what I'm not going to do is go back and forth with you on my pricing, because I know the product that I bring to the table. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and deny you service, because there's just no way that I can make this cake with love after this interaction.
No, I still want the cake. I'm just so upset.
No, I get that. I get that you still want it because, as you can see, my cakes are gorgeous, but it's just not something that I'm willing to do for you at this moment. Okay. So I do wish you the best. Happy birthday. And I hope that you get what you want. Enjoy your great value cake.
Loving it.
How many punishments did you get as a kid for being too smart out your mouth? Because it's like,
no, I was so scared of my mom growing up. I wasn't sassy when I was growing up too much, because I was very scared of my mom. And so I held a lot in. I was always smart. So I always had something to say, but I knew when I could and couldn't. Like when the grown-ups were talking, I was in another room and my mom said no, it was no. I didn't ask questions. It's none, whatever. So it wasn't too much. But as an adult, yeah, my smart mouth got me. Yeah.
oh my God.
So how real was that script right there? Is it something that you experienced, or?
Yeah. So I've always been sort of a businesswoman. Like I used to sell. There was a time where some pacifiers came out with some lights on them, and I would buy them in New York for $1 and sell them in school for $5. I used to sell cake pops. I made lollipops. I used to sell, and people were always trying to like, oh, but can I pay you what? The price is why are you asking to pay less? You don't go anywhere else. You don't go to Target. You don't go to Walmart. You don't go to Amazon talking about, hey, can I get a lesser price? Why? I'm a small business owner. I'm just like you. I'm just somebody trying to make a living. So no, the price is the price. And then I've had a lot of people also who they tell me the same thing. They're like, I sell, crafts, or I do this, Etsy and everything. And people always trying to haggle. And I'm like, Stop doing that's tacky. It's so tacky when people try to haggle on somebody's hard work, especially something that's like custom made. But specifically that video, there was I believe it was around February, right around like Valentine's Day, where these vintage hearts started coming out at Walmart. Walmart started selling these vintage heart cakes that were like $25, where a baker was selling them for like $70. And people were complaining that the baker was selling them for $70 while Walmart had them for $25. And I'm like, then go buy them at Walmart. Like, you don't have to complain about somebody's price. You don't have to do business with them if you don't want to, but they're a private baker. Like, they can set the price that they want. It's going to be different quality. They're going to sit there and decorate it by hand, and they're just going to put a little bit of extra love into it because that's literally their job. Walmart is just like, hey, we see an opportunity, we're going to take it. We're a multi-billion-dollar corporation. We're just going to make more money. But it's one of those things where it's like, all right, if you saw it cheaper over there, get it over there. Who's stopping you? Like, I don't understand.
No, and that what you're saying is so true. In a lot of places, I mean, especially those like the barbershops, the beauty shops and all, where people are trying to get a deal instead of just paying the price.
Yeah.
So yeah. And it's like, and I love the way you just threw it out there. You passed 2 Walmarts to get here.
Yeah, that
and,
was
and
like,
you still talk about how cheap they are. So like,
yeah,
and the fact that you turn them down at the end. Like, I don't even want to make your cake. So
right now, like at this point, I don't want your business. It's not that serious.
Right. Yeah.
But then she played the victim. Well, I just don't like the way you're talking to me. I'm like, you didn't say, you weren't rude. I mean, that's the typical. It's like when you're wrong and you know you're wrong and somebody calls you on your stuff.
Yeah.
That's when the problems happen. And
There's no accountability.
Human beings, and we've all been through that. We've all been on both sides of that. And the sooner you admit that, hey, you know what, you're right, the sooner you can get on with your life. But when people dig in and double down on foolishness, that's when it always gets worse. So
it's their pride. They won't let them. They won't let them just be like, you know what, I made a mistake. This was a bad judgment call. The pride won't let them. So then we got to have an exchange like this where I got to deny you service.
And it's a lot of energy and a lot of work, you know. So once you realize, you know what, nah, I'm good. So I guess, you know, if I'm debating with the real Veronica, I'm like, you know what, you got it. What we doing? I don't want no smoke.
It ain't even worth it, man.
It's not. It's just so much easier to let me have what I want.
So who's just telling you, no, we're not doing it that way. So that's fine.
Nah, that's good. I see Frederick Jackson is out there, and he made a comment, and I just want to put it up there. It says individual skills, specialized skills are skills that make you an asset to a business. So those individual skills, those specialized skills that you have, you know, and you, like I say, even with the cake episode we just did, you have a special skill. You know, you can bake a cake. Now, you said you can't sing, but can you bake? Can you bake? I
can. I love cooking and I love baking. Like those are, I'm always in the kitchen. I really do like to create any type of art. I see cooking as art, you know, and acting and dancing and all that. That to me is all art. So I really do enjoy that. And I love cooking for my friends and my family. Like I love making a dish and having people come over and be like, oh my God, your food is so good. Words of affirmation is my love language. So when I hear people saying that my food is good, it makes me feel good.
All right. So I don't think we're gonna ever get invited to the cookout or the dinner or whatever.
Let me know when you're in Orlando next time. We'll talk.
Okay. All right. No problem. Well, you know, you traveling around the world, so if you come up to the DC area, you let us know, so that way we can catch up with the real Veronica.
Absolutely.
And maybe the Yankees will come play Baltimore. You can come check us out.
They'll be on my list next year for sure.
Yeah. So do you actually go to the games? I know you say you watch them on TV, but you actually go to the game?
Yeah, I actually try to go a couple times a year because, you know, they play Tampa all the time because they're part of the American League East. So I try to go to Tampa. I don't enjoy going to Tampa because they lose every time. Every time I've gone to a game at, you know, Tropicana Field, they've lost. So it's like a bad omen or something. But I actually am going next Saturday, and then I'm probably going to try to go to one more before the end of the year.
Okay.
So question, baseball fan that you are, where is your ideal seat? I hear this. I always like to ask baseball fans this. Where do you like to sit?
I'm going to sound spoiled as hell, but I do not go anywhere unless I can get up front. Like if I'm going to sit in the nosebleeds or in the bleachers, I'm gonna watch it from home. I'm gonna see it better. So I like to be either behind home plate or like right between home plate and first base. Like that's where I'm sitting next Saturday, is right behind between home plate and first base, because if I'm gonna be there, I want to see it. I don't want to have to be like squinting. I'm blind as hell anyway. But if I'm gonna, I just want to watch it at home if I'm not going to be up close. So I do like to be up close.
So that's the visiting or the home team's dugout. So you will sit behind the home team's dugout because you're a Yankees fan, so you're gonna be behind. Okay.
Yeah, but I do always try, if I'm going to another ballpark, then I try to get to where the Yankee, like in the visitors.
Okay, all right. And it could be, I'm not sure how the stadium set up. Normally the home team is on the right side or down the right field line, and the left field line is the visitor. But
the funny thing is that right now, the Tampa Bay Rays are playing in George Steinbrenner Field, which is where the Yankees play their spring training, because I don't know if their field is shutting down or what. So if I do go, I got to remember that I still have to do the visitor side, because technically the Yankees are visiting their own field, but I got to do the visitor side for that one if I go to a game.
That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Good luck on your traveling and all of that good stuff.
Thank you.
I'm super excited about having you here. Thank you for taking your time and sharing it with us. I feel like I know you now. I mean, we're watching videos and like, yeah, I know her, but now it's like we had an actual conversation, and it's pretty cool. I'm gonna ask you if it's okay with you just to hang behind before we're gonna end this show here.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you would like to say? I know you got your Facebook open and live right now. Is there anything you want to say to any of your fans out there, and to my fans on my side of the fence?
Okay.
So is there anything you would like to share before we close out the show?
The only thing I always say is to be yourself. Be yourself, be authentic, be kind, do good things. It all comes back. There's too much hate and too much anger and too much bad in the world already. We need more really good people. So just do it. Just make somebody's day, give somebody a compliment, smile, treat your kids good, treat your animals good. I promise you all those little things, which are actually big things, they make your life a lot better. You know what I mean? Like they improve your own life. When you give love, you receive love in return. Be careful for the energy suckers out there, because there's a lot, but for the most part, you attract what you are. So try to be good, try to be kind, try to do good things. And that's what you'll end up attracting. That's what I tell everybody all the time.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Words
Information, and
absolutely,
definitely thank you. So with that being said, we thank you all for tuning in to this episode of the Iron Sharpening Iron Show. We had the wonderful guest of Real Veronica on. My man Walt talks, and I'm Big Jack. Please tune in every Wednesday, every Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern time for the next episode, and you won't ever be disappointed, because we always got good things coming our way, and we're stepping up our game, if I could say that. So we're definitely stepping up our game. So again, thank you, Miss Real Veronica, Miss Veronica, for being a guest on the show. And
thank you for having me.
If you can hang back, we'll appreciate it. We're going to close out the show. To everyone that's out there, have a good night, good week. Happy holidays to you. 4th of July is here, so be safe out there. Don't do anything that's going to cause. This is the time of the year where more accidents happen on the 4th of July, because people being reckless with the fireworks and all that. So make sure you protect yourself at all times while you're out there. And so we want to see you on the next episode. So we don't want to talk about you. I'd rather talk to you. So until next time, we'll talk to you all later. All right. Peace and bye.
Bye. God bless.